The Justin Robert Young program is brought to you, as always, by patreon.com/JuRY, where you can support this show as well as the Politics program. Thank you to everybody who continues to make this the best possible thing. We want to have a hell of a summer and reward everybody on this Patreon as best as we can. Sent out a survey a couple weeks ago just to see what you guys like, what you want more of. I want to over-deliver for you guys. So head on over to patreon.com/JuRY if you would like to become a part of the folks that make this party happen. And by stickers or DIAF.com. That is where you can get Diamond Club stickers. Also, if you want free stickers and you're listening to this on Tuesday, then go ahead and buy them on stickers or DIAF, because I'm putting double stickers in every envelope. I'll tell you what, if you listen to this a little late, because I know we got a lot of podcast listeners, just put the diamond that is less than greater than at checkout. I'm going to slip y'all some extra stickers as well. But go ahead and check it out, stickers or DIAF.com. And by the way, every single week we give away free stickers to people who sign up for our mailing list at bit.ly/stickers or DIAF. That is no uppercase letters in stickers or DIAF. And Dorian Debin wins one today. So the stickers are in the mail. Thank you so much, Dorian, for signing up for the mailing list. But enough of talking about how we do the show. What do you say we just go ahead and do the damn thing?
On the day that we met on the internet, I asked her for a photograph. She sent it over to me, said, I know it's ugly. And I said, girl, ugly ain't the half, look at you. Well, you got blue teeth and you only got 2 teeth, but I kinda like to see you smile. And it appears that over the years you've turned into a big old steaming pile. And she said, yeah, I know I ain't no supermodel. I said, you ain't a hand model, baby, but that's fine, 'cause you're pretty ugly by most people's standards, but you're alright by mine.
Welcome to the Justin Robert Young program. My name is Justin Robert Young. You can call me JuRY for short, though. This is the April 25th edition of our fine One Mic show. I'm going to let everybody know right off the bat that I am sick. I'm sick, dog. I'm sick. I'm sick. I don't like being sick. I don't get sick often. I don't like admitting that I'm sick, but I know when I am. And unfortunately, I do not have a kind of job where I can kind of put these things down. You know, I used to have a job at the Go Game where I could just go ahead and move on. You know, I would have to. I had the sniffles. I had to go. I had a job to do. I'd go do it. Now I work out of my house. So it's easy for me to do, some would say, the healthy thing and recuperate. I'm around my wife. My wife cares about me. So what does my wife tell me? Hey, don't do this stuff. Don't go to the gym. Don't go running. You should recuperate. In fact, between your streams today, you should nap. Because that's my job, and I can do it sick. It's fine. I don't have to pretend that I'm not. But that usually used to be the way that I did things. I would just kind of will myself into not being sick. I would lie to myself and just say, I'm not sick right now. And now eventually it would all catch up to me and I would get really, 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 really sick. But in general, I'd be able to do without it. I don't like it. I hate it. I usually wind up getting the same kind of sick, by the way. It's always the exact same thing. And it's basically just a cold or flu, whatever you want to call it, where I have a runny nose and I just feel like I'm drunk and hungover at the same time. It's garbage. I hate it. You want to know what else what doesn't help, by the way, is, I mean, I know that I have, that you guys are just the best listeners on the planet, but let's just go ahead and take a look at this. This was sent in by Scale. Scale is a hardcore and longtime listener and viewer of the show. I'm sorry for audio listeners. You cannot see it. I will do my best to narrate what is happening. There is a living room. There's an Alex Jones YouTube video playing on a television in the background. There is now a gigantic mayonnaise jar that is being pushed into the center of the frame. It is being gripped by a hand. And now, oh, God, it is just being squirted out. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. It just squirted all over the table, like, and just an eager tongue is just a slurping, just, oh, God, it's just going everywhere. It's just disgusting. It's the reason why Australia should have stayed a prison colony. That is just gross. That is just disgusting. It's just, that is a disgusting act. There's really no other way to say it. So, Scale, I mean, if I wasn't already sick, I would have been made sick. Here's the problem with being sick. It forces me to think about a lot of things that I don't normally think about, aside from snot pouring out of my mouth at all times while I have to talk to you guys one-on-one, Because also, that's another thing. I feel sick. I don't feel like doing the show. So what would I normally do if I don't feel like doing the show? I'd call Brett, right? I'd bring Brett over. We'd do a show where I would talk to him so I don't have to talk by myself the entire time. But I can't do that. Because now I would get Brett sick. Brett's got a little baby girl. You can't get the little baby girl sick because I'm sick. It's just not a good idea. Why do I like grilled cheese so much more when I'm sick? I don't know why. I don't know why I like grilled cheese so much when I'm sick, but for whatever reason, I love it. I've come to the understanding that in my life, I don't even really like grilled cheese all that much. I don't like cheese all that much. My wife is vegan. She cooks vegan. We eat vegan cheese a lot. It was a discovery that I made about myself in my 30s, which is I don't really like heavy creams, cheeses included, except when I have a fever. For whatever reason, at that point, I cannot eat enough grilled cheese sandwiches. I like them with double cheese. Double cheese. Double beef, motherfucker. I love it. I don't know what it is about it. Like, is it just a thing because my mom used to make it? Is it like that I remember my mom making me grilled cheese sandwiches and now it comforts me? That it is indeed comfort food? I mean, soup too. I don't really eat a lot of soup. I've never even been a regular soup eater. Holy crap. I can't get enough soup. As soon as I'm done with this, right to soup. Just going to let you know. I'm going to make a grilled cheese. I'm going to make a soup. I'm going to take a nap. I hate naps. I've never taken a nap in my life. I don't know if I've told you guys about this. My stepfather, who I love dearly, Ron, for whatever reason, hated naps. Didn't like naps. Didn't appreciate naps. Didn't like kids loafing around and napping when they could be outside playing, exercising, working their muscles, getting their blood flowing. So God forbid me or my little brother went to go and try to take a nap. He would just hear the silence. He would just hear the silence. And he would come running up the stairs. What are you doing? What are you doing? Taking a nap. No, you're not. Get up. So for whatever reason, I've never trusted naps. Love napping when I'm sick. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to eat a grilled cheese. I'm going to eat some soup. Then I'm going to take a nap. Being sick also makes me reconsider things. Makes me think about preconceptions. Makes me think about judgments. Went to the CVS this morning to go get some NyQuil, some Sudafed. Made a realization when I went by the Sudafed. And, like, I know this isn't real. I know that this is wrong. You guys are going to laugh at me. You're going to send me emails to justinrobertyoung@gmail.com about how dumb this is. And I'm sure there's plenty of you that are really smart, that work in the pharmaceutical industry, that are going to tell me why what I'm saying is stupid. I know it's stupid, all right? I'm just going to tell you about a preconceived notion that I have that affects my health specifically when I'm sick. I don't trust small pills. I've said it. If I look at a bunch of pills in front of me and they all claim to cure what ails me, I will never pick the smallest pill. And I know that the large pill and the small pill are, as terms of active ingredients, probably the exact same thing. And the rest of it is sugar or asbestos or, packing peanuts or whatever else. I can't handle it. I go and see a tiny little Sudafed pill. Get that the fuck out of my face. I can't. There were two Sudafed, and I know Sudafed knows this because they specifically made two versions. There's the regular Sudafed, and they have right on there just that little pinprick of a goddamn pill that they have, right? And then right next to it, it's like extra strength. And it's like a regular pill. And I'm like, I gotta buy the regular looking pill. What on earth could this tiny pill do? Nothing. Nothing. Now, I know this is ridiculous. I've done acid before. Acid is just a little tiny piece of paper. You put a piece of paper on your tongue. Next thing you know, you're tripping nuts. The sky itself is opening as Cthulhu pours out and enwraps its tentacles around the peaceful lake that you're sitting by. That is what a tiny little piece of paper can do. But for whatever reason, I don't believe that a tiny little pill can cure my congestion. It's irrational. It's ridiculous. It's a thing that I believe in wholeheartedly. I make buying decisions. I'm on Dayquil right now. You might hear me sniffle a little bit, but I'm going to try to get through it. So thank you for indulging me while I am sick. We got a bunch of stuff we want to go over. Number one, I'm in the process of something that I believe is very much an element of our modern era, our digital era. It is an audit of your life that periodically happens. No, not when you do your taxes. No, not when you are doing your bookkeeping, but rather when you have to get a new credit card and you finally realize everything that you're subscribed to. We're also going to talk about a trend piece about a new thing called stealthing. What's stealthing? Well, it could affect you. More at 11. And we are going to debut a new segment here. I don't know how many people are going to, how long this segment's going to go. But it's going to be called Bet You Wish You Had That Patreon. Bet you wish you had that Patreon. We'll find out what that is a little bit later. What do you guys want to do first? Stealthing? You want to do stealthing, or do you want to do the new credit card? Don't get me started on Sudafed. Everybody's talking about Sudafed in this chat here, man. I swear to God. I used to try to manage my allergies down in South Florida by taking Sudafed. I had to go to like 9 different CVS's because some goddamn hillbilly in Tallahassee is cooking meth with over-the-counter Sudafed or Claritin. So, of course, they got to put it behind glass and make you sign a thing so some 16-year-old can keep track of it. So I got to go to 3 different places to get enough Sudafed to keep me from sneezing my fucking head off for the entire summer. No, it wasn't. It was Claritin. It wasn't Sudafed. Sorry. Let's go with stealthing. I don't know why this spoke to me. But I think I saw it on Drudge Report. This is the kids call it stealthing. By the way, so we're working on this new Action News thing. It's the new game that we're doing. And we sent out print and plays. If you got the print and play, congratulations. We're going to keep sending more out so people can give us feedback on it. But basically what you're doing is you and your friends are putting on your own little news broadcasts. And so it's led to people talking like this. That stealthing is the newest dangerous sex trend. This is from the New York Post. The latest bedroom trend doesn't have to do with a certain position or technique, and it's not sexy at all. The disturbing, non-consensual trend is called stealthing, and its rise is documented in a report by the Columbia Journal of Gender and Law. Lead author Alexandra Brodsky argues that stealthing, when a man secretly removes his condom in the middle of sex, is a form of sexual assault, and it should be treated as such. Even more troubling is the online community Brodsky uncovered, where men encourage other men to stealth their partners. These perpetrators, both gay and straight, believe it's a man's right to spread one's seed. Brodsky tells the Huffington Post, one of my goals with the article and in proposing a new statute is to provide vocabulary and to create a way for people to talk about what is really common experience that's too often just dismissed as bad sex instead of violence. Now, I don't know even where to go with this, right? Like, because here's my first instinct. I don't think this is any more real than they call it the David Blaining, where you're having sex with a girl from behind, you switch out with your friend, and then you knock on the window in front of her. Like, I have no doubt that it happens. I have no doubt that as it is described, it is indeed sexual assault. But part of me wonders, and this might be me being naive. If you want to listen, you can be anonymous if you want to email in to justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Put JuRY in the subject line. If you for a fact know this is real, then let me know. But my initial thought in reading this is like, this ain't real. Who really does this? Because also, like, what is, unless you are, and certainly there are plenty of communities online that foster this community of hypermasculinity that is like, yeah, I deserve to be an aggressive man. I'm a man. Hey, what's up, you SJW cucks? I'm a man. I can't do that voice. BioCow suggests the David Copperfield. When you're having sex from behind, you take a Statue of Liberty figurine off the shelf and make it disappear. I don't think that's real either. So, I don't even. I think I found this fascinating because I wanted to kind of talk about trend pieces in general in journalism, because I think they are a very good example of this line of like fake news, right? For a while in journalism, I don't read the Times enough to know whether this still happens, but I assume it does. There is this running joke about the New York Times trend piece, which seemed an awful lot like the author's got 3 friends that all do a thing. They all got it from each other. And now it's a trend sweeping New York, if not the nation. It's called keeping a live crab in your hair. And it's not what you think. Just kidding, it is. You keep a live crustacean in your bouffant. Yeah, the Buck says, it's called the Brian Brushwood, where you rub dollar bills all over your naked body. Like, there are things that I'm sure that happen in the youth culture today that involve sex that are weird and repulsive and probably borderline on sexual assault, right? But, I mean, where really is even... Where's the desire? Where's the motivation to do something like that? Which, by the way, here's the thing. So let's take, they call it crabbing. All, and all these stories, all these New York Times trend stories always start the same way. They start first person. Janie walked to her favorite ice cream store. She met her best friend Louise, along with her a book she was lent. Janie gave Louise some flakes. Why? To feed the crab in her hair. It's called crabbing, and it's sweeping the nation. A live crab in your bangs can do wonders for the shape of your face, says Louise. And the weirder it is, oddly enough, the more newsworthy it is, right? Like, this kind of gets to the root of the fake news. No, third person. Yeah, I just meant it starts with a personal story from the person. Since mostly all news writing is third person. The BioCow says stealthing is a trend as much as randomly starting to beat somebody in the middle of sex. That's just the act of a horrible person. Although back in my day, that was the donkey punch, right? Does anybody remember the donkey punch? Hands up if you remember the donkey punch. Hit me up on Twitter right now at Justin R. Young if you remember the donkey punch. Is that a thing that still happens? Do people still remember people talking about the donkey punch? People are raising their hands. Wait, hold on. Does not everybody remember the donkey punch? I'm not even going to describe the donkey punch. You can go ahead and look it up. They wound up making a movie about it. A buddy of mine, who, by the way, if you're in the Bay Area, go see Tyler Wilson's show, Lies Wide Open, in San Francisco this Friday, this Saturday. The cost of that plug is that Tyler Wilson is an amazing magician, a very, very funny person. And by the way, I mean funny, actually funny, not funny for a magician. Because in general, magicians kind of are like athletes where it's like, if they're kind of funny, then you're like, oh, he's a funny magician. No. Tyler Wilson is just a hilarious stand-up comic level hilarity. More than that. Like, he is just an insanely creative person. I'm excited to go. I'm going to see the show Saturday. So if you're at the Saturday show, you'll see me there. But randomly, Tyler Wilson in the mail sends me a DVD. I couldn't even play it because it was a DVD from the United Kingdom. It's a movie made in the United Kingdom called Donkey Punch. And it involves a bunch of sexy teens that are on a boat. Somebody performs this sex move called the Donkey Punch. The person at the other end of the Donkey Punch dies, and now there's this whodunit. It's a literal whodunit started with a donkey punch. It's called Donkey Punch. I don't know how we got on this, but I think stealthing is as real as donkey punching. Which is to say, I don't really think it's all that real. It might be, though. Who knows? If it is, that's horrifying. That's rape. That's sexual violence. You shouldn't have. I mean, if you agree to having sex with somebody with a condom on, then you should have the right to do it. But it's just something tells me I don't know if this is as widespread. In fact, we get into this weird point where if you cover it and you put it out and it spreads as wide as it does, are you creating more people who might look at that and say, oh, wow, that's cool. I want to do that. Than if you hadn't covered it at all. It's a real who donkey punched it. All right, let's do this new segment. This new segment's called Bet You Wish You Had the Patreon. All right. Here's the story. A lot of people got all fired up a couple weeks ago because I said that I said that I would like to propose that there be a new Patreon wherein people could pay for the privilege, white people could pay for the privilege to say the N-word. The money would go to black people. And I got a lot of heat. I got a lot of heat for that. Here's a shocker. People are sensitive when it comes to race. It's the N-word Patreon. A lot of people are like, what? I would never pay for the privilege. I would never. Making words powerful. White people don't say the N-word. All right. Oh, really? Oh, really? Well, let me tell you somebody who wishes that he had that Patreon. Huh? Let me tell you somebody. How about this little guy? Overwatch pro's racist tirade ends career. How's that? How's that for a guy who wishes he had the Patreon? Look at this. I read this from the compete vertical of Gawker Media. Most pros' career end in injury, declining mechanical skill, or just when their interest in competing runs dry. But Toronto esports Matt Delor Vaughn opted for a different end, a very long, very public stream of racial slurs during an Overwatch game. Vaughn, a 28-year-old adult, was playing a ranked match in Overwatch. His opponent's Widowmaker was making a few too many accurate shots, and Vaughn took umbrage. His response was to yell the N-word into his microphone using his game's voice chat system. I'm going to play a part of this. I'm going to warn everybody before we start that this includes the N-word.
Nigger, 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 nigger.
It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Toronto esports responded. Toronto esports is an organization built on exclusivity, and we have zero tolerance policy for any forms of discrimination, says President Ryan Pallett. Immediately upon learning of the incident, the player was interviewed, admitted to the offense, and was notified that his contract with the organization was terminated. Delor then went onto his Twitter and said, "I'm sorry, I fucked up. I'm done with esports and I won't be returning." Let me say in my editorial comment that he should have been fired. That is intensely gross, it is hateful, and it is ugly. But also, bet you wish you had the Patreon. Bet you wish you had the Patreon. Simple slip of the tongue 20 times. Tell you what, now what if that is a shameful act that rightfully ended in somebody losing their job, right? But what if it was also an economic generator for African Americans or African Canadians? What if Drake was able to get paid off that? Drake would have been able to make some coin. The six god would have been like, that's 6 G's in my pocket because you just said the N-word 50 times. We are cranking right now. That'd be a high price, right? The buyout count suggests that he should have went with mayo, 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 mayo. Big fat mayo. Here's something that's happening in my life right now. Some jackass got a hold of my credit card. I was down in Florida. Should have known better. Using strange ATMs. Somebody skipped my goddamn credit card. Sold it to some jackass. Tried to spend like $7,000 on it. Got caught. Nothing got paid out. But I needed a new credit card. So I got a new credit card sent to me. Quick rant. I hate the dumb chip. Fuck this chip. Like, honestly, come on. I can still run the credit card online. That's what everything happens. And now I got to put the chip in, and next thing you know, it just takes forever. And, I still got to sign for it. It doesn't make it any more convenient. I'd rather just do everything with Apple Pay, but not everybody has Apple Pay. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, the chip reader's down. Bleep, blop, bloop. I don't like it. It's frustrating. I wish I still had my old card that didn't have the chip in. End rant. This happens periodically. You lose your card, need a new card. Card expires, need a new card. Then all of a sudden, the emails start coming. The emails. Your payment has failed. Would you like to change your payment? See, we live in 2017. That means that we have a lot of subscription services that we rely on. Got Netflix, Hulu, Sling. If you have a sports package, that's another one. Twitch, Patreon, a lot of different things, right? So it's easy to lose track of them. And if you're not meticulous about reviewing, balancing your checkbook, as it were, every month, it's easy to kind of, skip past it until your credit card goes out and you realize every little thing that you do. And despite the fact that you might have lost your credit card because of some weird means, right? It's an oddly powerful thing. Because you kind of feel like you're in the catbird seat, right? You got to feel like you're on the Iron Throne. And now all of a sudden, all of your, all of the people that are dependent on you for your coin must come for an audience. Oh, sir, it is I, Pleb Twitch. It appears as if the coin that we normally expect for your patronage has not arrived. We were wondering if you would like to make further accommodations. It's great. It just feels like there's a lot of well, what have you done for me lately to it? Oh, really? Oh, I'm still subscribed to Hulu. Well, you dirty bitch. I sure lost track of that one, right? I didn't really get a lot of emails talking about all the new awesome stuff I was getting with my Hulu subscription. What have you done for me lately? Now all of a sudden you start thinking, wait a minute, did I watch that new James Franco series? Wait a minute, could I get the stuff that I do watch on Hulu somewhere else? I don't know, dog. Maybe that $12.99 is going somewhere else. Because here's the best part, is that whenever you sign up for something, you've signed up for a subscription, people don't remember it all the time. But now, instead of the default action being these companies get your money, the default action is they get no more money. You have to make a concerted effort to give them cash. It's a pretty powerful position. I'm curious to know if anybody else has had this kind of feeling, where next thing you know, all of a sudden somebody's coming to you asking why your money train stopped, and you're like, wait, really? I was subscribed to that? I don't even use the Coffee of the Month Club. Also, by the way, never do that when it comes to Patreon. We love you here at Patreon. You can email this show, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Again, that is justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Chris writes, I just got done listening to the It's a United Thing You Wouldn't Understand episode of the podcast. The first instance of It's a Blank Thing. Flashback to the summer of 91, and a friend of mine's father had a Jeep Wrangler, and on the tailgate he had a cover for the spare tire that said, "It's a Jeep thing you wouldn't understand." I only remembered this when you brought it up, and I had to ask my friend about when it was. As for poor Sean, maybe it's time that he moved to Iowa even if he didn't want to. If he has the skills to pay the bills, he should be able to save a little bit of money and fly back to California to see his girlfriend occasionally, or she could fly to see him. It's a little mini Sean Sopor. Big shout out to Sean. I know he was going on some interviews and stuff like that. So we're looking for him. We're looking out for him. Dave writes, during a recent Hotline Monday, you and Scott mentioned how you handled long-distance trips in your car, and it brought to mind something similar with me. Recently, I ran a half marathon on a rolling, hilly course north of Pittsburgh. The course had a small loop followed by two 5-mile loops. For time perspective, I ran for 2 hours and 10 minutes, a 2-hour and 10-minute half marathon. The first time through the loops, you can see the scenery, the other runners, and other non-racers who are using the running path. The second time through, and your mind starts to wander as the sights are the same and your body starts to talk back to you. The boredom of 9 miles from mile 9 to 13 are similar to hours 9 to 13 when you're driving solo. I started to question why I'm doing this and why I signed up for this race when another one is about 6 weeks away. The only difference between driving and running that loop is the pain in the legs, hips, feet, and the bleeding nipples. By the way, the bleeding nipples with sweat dripping from the abrasions is the worst of the pain. Luckily, I had enough podcasts saved up and listened to them at 2x to keep me going. Yes, Weird Things was one of the podcasts. But if I didn't, the overwhelming boredom of mile after mile, 10 minutes per mile at that time would have driven me bonkers. Shout out to Dave, man. We also got an In Your House tour email. I've reopened the In Your House tour. So if you want to see me in your area and you have a living room that you would like to spare for me to do either this show or politics, then email me. DH writes, since you're opening up the In Your House tour to other regions, I figured I'd put my hat in the ring. I just bought my first house in Denver, Colorado, and I got tons of room to hold an event, including a guest bedroom and roughly 400 square foot home theater and entertainment room that'd be great for hosting an episode. I'm also just a short walk from a really nice outdoor mall with a bunch of food and shopping options, as well as a really good movie theater. I was setting up the home theater while listening to this week's Night Attack pre-show, and I heard you'd never really seen the original cuts of Star Wars. Well, I have the despecialized editions, among many others, and we could easily fix that. If you make your way to Denver, I'm sure we'll run into each other at Gen Con again this year. Well, thank you, GH. Gladstone writes, so last week, someone was asking about finding creative outlets while trying to balance work, and I have a suggestion. When I was in high school, I really enjoyed podcasting as a result of listening to Guess Who. Oh, geez, you're making me blush. But when I got into college, I found that due to my major, I simply didn't have time to run a quality, full-length podcast like I used to. Not to mention not having the recording space in a cramped dorm. Fast forward to a few weeks ago when Scott Johnson started talking about a platform called Anchor. Fantastic micro-podcasting sort of app that I started using immediately. A few weeks in, the fine folks over there decided to feature my show, and I've been having the time of my life since. It only takes about 30 to 40 minutes out of any given day between research, recording, and editing. So, yeah, man, I really dig Anchor. I've talked to them about doing stuff. I agreed to them I would do stuff, and I haven't done stuff yet. But I think I will. I hope I will. I have a feeling I will. Leon writes, I was listening, but everybody should go check it out. Check out Anchor. Download Anchor, listen to Anchor. A lot of great stuff on there. Scott's on there. Tom's on there. Joseph Scrimshaw does a great show on there. Annie Gauss does a great show on there. Check it out. Leon writes, I was listening to the Holiday World podcast, a show from people who run the Holiday World theme park in Santa Claus, Indiana, and they had a moment that reminded me of your 9/11 iPhone reviews transition. Since their Holiday World, they have a segment where they run down various holidays coming up, and they mentioned World Book Night. And they got to talking about reading the Diary of Anne Frank. Naturally, they pointed out how it didn't end well for Anne Frank, and then after a brief pause, they said, and April 26th is Pretzel Day. Thought you'd get a kick out of that. Even middle-aged regional theme park managers fall victim to occasional awkward podcast transitions. The Mule writes, hi, JuRY. I've been listening for a while, and I'd like to seek some advice. I want to sit at your feet and bask in whatever wisdom that you can grant me. I'm a writer. I have written one novel, and I'm working on 2 more. I have my first as a project on Inkshares, but I have not sought funding yet. Is there any advice you would grant me about ways to garner support? I have a dream to become a published author. I believe my work is good enough, but unknown. I'll hang up and take my answer off the air. Mule. Here's something that you got to get out of your head. The idea that your work is good and therefore people will find it. Get that out of your head. It's dumb. It makes no sense. Here's what makes people find your stuff. Either A, you build a community yourself, or B, you co-opt a community, either by becoming a part of it as a fellow community member or skipping to the front of the line by becoming a part of a platform of some sort. So what you want to, here's a very dangerous idea that will actually ruin your creativity, is by putting something that you've put a lot of time and effort into the wilderness and then leaving and hoping somebody finds it. Impossible. Here's what that is. Now, we like to think of that as this like pure judgment of talent because that's the best possible recognition and validation, right? Is like, oh, I just posted this on YouTube and next thing you know, 1 billion people loved me. Bump that noise. Here's what that really is. I had a baby, and then I put that baby in a dank, dark forest, and then I left that baby alone, hoping that because I believed that baby was the best, smartest, kindest, most active, interesting baby in the world, that somebody would surely come find it and elect it king. Well, guess what? It didn't. Nobody found your baby, and your baby died in the woods. You murdered your baby. Now, here's a better life for your baby. You promote your baby. You talk up your baby. You say, you want to know what? My baby's worth a look. Now, maybe your baby grows up to be somebody who is appreciated by a few people, friends and family. That's a good life for that baby. Maybe you have another baby, and because you've got the built-in audience that you had before, maybe this one gets to learn the lessons of the first one, and maybe it goes out to a larger audience. And maybe at some point you get a reality show, and the babies that you have are loved by so many more people because their stories are told over larger television platforms. So what's my advice? Number one, stop thinking putting something up on Inkshares is an achievement. Writing a book's an achievement. Promoting a book is a totally different one. Building your own audience is an achievement. But don't think that talent gives you everything, because it doesn't. Like, it really, honestly does not. Like, you need to have some kind of following. You need to cultivate that following. And that is a whole nother can of worms. Strike It Rich says, and now your baby's a White Walker. Now here we go. We got some hearth truth. Oh my God. I butchered this like 6 times in the pre-show. For whatever reason, I can do an hour-long one mic show, but I cannot say harsh truths. Harsh truths. Not hearth truth. Here we go. Alex writes, I've been in a relationship with a girl since the last year of high school. It's been 5 years. It's been rough for us it's a long-distance relationship. It's been rough for us only being able to see each other once every 5 weeks since we went to different universities about an hour and a half away from each other. 2 days before I finished my last final exams, she decided to have a serious conversation with me about how she is confused since she's now graduated and working a full-time job. She graduated a year before me. She says she doesn't know who she is and wants to find out. She says she needs to make time to figure out who she is. I think she should give us a chance now that I'm finally graduated and can work in the same city as her and live together, a dream we've had since high school. Can you give some insight as to why she'd do this? She says she doesn't know who she is as a person. Is this not something we could figure out together? Alex, So I'm going to give you a thing that you should do immediately, and then I'm going to explain it, okay? You need to leave her immediately, and you need to be the one to do it. Now, I say this as somebody who wants you to have a long, fruitful relationship with her. I want you guys to get married. I want you guys to have kids. I want you guys to set up an Etsy store where she knits and you take sad pictures of you in beanies that have insignias from television shows you don't watch. I want you to do everything that a boring couple that is together for 75 years. I want you guys in 10 years at your wedding to talk about how you were high school sweethearts together. And to do that, I want you to break up with her as soon as I am done talking. I want you to have a conversation, a brief conversation. You're right. We need to see each other, people. I hope we can be friends eventually. Pa. No long talk. No. None of that. Sorry. No, Alex, come on. Run like it was a haunted house. Run like you were a white girl in a horror movie and people were yelling at you from the theater. Run! Here's why. What she is telling you now is, I don't know who I am, and I just feel like I can't go through life unless I find out. Here's what she's really saying. I've gone through 4 years trading comfort for exploration. And I've had a lot of people around me that got their goddamn Indiana Jones fedoras on that are whipping their shit all over the place. They are exploring. They're exploring life. They're exploring drugs. They're exploring sex. They're doing all the good exploring. And I have traded all that for comfort. Now, I'm happy with that trade because obviously I would have made it otherwise. But, I mean, I don't know. There's a part of her, I'm going to guarantee you this, that says, man, maybe I should have made this decision a while ago. And so now, what she is looking at, this is my guess, is either I live now or I'm married in 2 years. And I don't want to wait for my life to be over. Hashtag only 90s kids will understand. So you might think, Justin, that's counterintuitive. If I want to be with her forever, why should I leave her immediately? Well, because what situation you're in now is not necessarily a reflection of your relationship. It might be. Maybe you guys aren't good together. And maybe you guys have both been trading exploration for comfort. And maybe you are scared that that exploration will not pan out. And so you are settling. That might be the case. But let's say you guys have a great relationship. Let's say you guys have an amazing relationship. Then that means that all that exploration is doomed to fail. And your actual relationship will withstand the test of some strange times, strange people, strange days. So if you're living in the same place and you break up, this is the best possible way for you guys to get married within 10 years. I'm guaranteeing you that. That is an absolute stone cold guarantee. Because And also here, advanced course, break up. You break up. You have to be the one to break up. Because also that shows emotional maturity. It shows that you are not clinging. You are willing to say, you are right. You go do this. I am going to do it too. Don't hold a grudge. Try to bottle up those feelings and go for 3 months without whatever your regular pattern of communication is. Let her feel the absence of you. Because if you have been trading comfort for exploration, then what is the world without that comfort? Now, you might look at that and say, Justin, that's punitive. I'm being mean. I'm denying her my time, my comfort, my friendship. Why would I do that to somebody that I care about? Well, because you don't owe anybody anything, especially if you're also going to explore what life without her is like. It's your right to isolate yourself. And number two, because I also have a hard and fast rule about breakups, that you need separation. Immediate and total separation. Unsurprisingly, this has gotten me called a cold asshole a couple times. But I'm never rude about it. You know, I've always said whenever I've broken up with somebody or they've broken up with me, I've been upfront in the communication. I've never ghosted, right? I've never just said like, meh, deuces. But then once it's done, it's done. No calls, no text, no booty calls. You got to drop it. And then in 2 months, 3 months, you see where you're at. Maybe exploration treated you well. Maybe it treated her well. Maybe the relationship that you guys had built up since high school, you know, was something that was necessary at the time that isn't as necessary now. Maybe it outlived its usefulness. Or maybe, you guys are meant to be together. And after peeking around a little bit, it highlighted what you had. And maybe you get back together. And maybe you settle down. But I'll tell you this for a fact. Don't look at this like trying to win an argument. Don't look at this like logic. Because the worst thing you could do is win this argument and get married. And live together. Worst. Because she's got that Indiana Jones theme in her head. And either she's going to explore it now, or she's going to explore it later, or at worst case, she's going to put that in a little pet cemetery in the back of her mind, and it will morph into something fucking awful. Awful for her and awful for you. And don't stealth her. I hear that's a thing that the kids are doing these days. Ladies and gentlemen, you can email this show, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Again, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. If you want free Diamond Club stickers, sign up for the stickers or DIAF mailing list, bit.ly/stickers or DIAF. No capital letters in stickers or DIAF. Again, bit.ly/stickers or DIAF. Twitter and Instagram @JustinRYoung. Snapchat as well. Send me on Snapchat today or this week whether or not you broke up with your first significant other or they broke up with you. I'm curious. Do a little experiment. And of course, you could hashtag join the conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com. If you have Amazon Prime, remember to subscribe to us on Twitch Prime. It's free for you and money for me. But ladies and gentlemen, if you find yourself being sick, you find yourself getting fired for yelling the N-word, if you find yourself writing a trend piece about crabs in your hair, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is your old pal, Justin Robert Young, wishing that you would please just die.
Just shots back at me.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.